Cards by Christine here with you on a Wednesday. I've been having an interesting week. More about that to come. I cannot keep my head from my tail. Here with you for Paper Pumpkin. We are doing the June Paper Pumpkin, which is Life is Sweet. Very excited to be doing that. I don't even know what's in the box today. It's a big surprise for all of us. I'm going to bring up my own YouTube so that I can watch along with y'all. It is a beautiful day. It has been a beautiful week here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Hot, although today is nicer than the last day or two. We've been getting just way too much rain. That's the update from Wisconsin. All of Wisconsin. All right, let's see if I can find it. There we are. Gotta send it to my kiddos because they like watching too. Although right now they are at an Amish, what's it called? Strawberry shortcake thing. Oh look, there are so many people. Hi everybody. Hello to Luann, Susan, Maria, Sherry, Marcia, and Deb. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, why don't I just throw a heart on that while we're at it? So, I have had the honorable pleasure of being selected for jury duty for the month of June. Now, let me explain to you. I do want to ask. Now, let's see here. We only have a couple people on right now. I'm going to wait till more people get on before I ask this. So I got selected for June, which means for the entire month of June, I have been receiving letters that instruct you to call the courthouse before the said date on the letter. Okay, great. I can follow that. And I've been about 50-50. Half of the times you call in to the recorded message by 5 p.m. or later on the night before the given date. And the message says, hey, it's settled, don't show. Great. Easy peasy. Had a couple of those and was like, yeah, that's my speed. There was once earlier in the month that I got the message on the recording to show up. Hello. Okay, so why is it not do? Okay, play. Yep, there we go. Okay, got the message to show up, but I actually ended up in the box, and in questioning, they did not select me to serve on the jury. So I was one of the original top 20, the lucky few, but I was not selected as a juror. Okay, so I got that whole experience. It was like, I was there for like half a day, didn't quite understand what I was getting myself into, didn't have my computer with me, so I had a lot of downtime that I wish I would have been able to fill, but you know, we learn as we go. So then this past Monday, I had a letter to call for, and I was overconfident, and I think that's what killed me. I was just certain that when I was going to call on Sunday night, I was going to be listening to a message that told me, hey, it's settled, we're all good, don't show up. Well, of course it didn't. It's fine, no big deal. I'm going to show up, I'm going to, get released. There were a lot of people that were called for that Monday. It's like, okay, well, my odds are pretty good to not have to be in the top 12 if there's this many people. The odds were not in my favor. So I got selected to sit on the jury, and we were told it's a 5-day case. I'm losing faith in that fact, but we will see. I am 3 days in and having a great time. My brain does not seem to be functioning. There has been a lot of listening and writing and thinking and breaks. Anyways, so here's my question. How many people are, 22 people are watching. That's great. My question is, has anyone served on a jury before? I have not. This is my first experience in all realms. Like, I've never even been called to be a part of anything, and then I did end up having to sit. So it's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I do think it is something that is valuable for everyone to observe at least once in their lifetime. I don't like politics and law and order and all that stuff, but it is still fascinating. And yes, I'm ready for it to be over, but I'm enjoying the experience because you know what? I don't have any say in any of it. So, may as well enjoy it while I'm there. So it's been an experience, that's for sure. And like I said, I mean, obviously you don't get to choose whether you're on a jury or not. But I think in most cases, if not all cases, court cases are open to the public. So, you know, there have been people that have been popping in and out of the gallery, I think they call it. I don't know. And it's been interesting to be a part of and to watch it all play out. And you watch it on TV, and yeah, I mean, the TV representation is not completely inaccurate, but of course there is less drama and more structure to it. So yeah, I would urge everyone to take in a court experience at some point in their lives. It is interesting. All right, so let's see. No, but I too got a jury summons for July 1st. Oh boy, you're in our top 10. Yes, I made it in the top. I like this top 10 a little better than that one. Got called for jury duty once, was not selected. See, that's how I thought. There is someone that I am sitting on the jury with who is on their second jury of the month. It's like, you're lucky. Lucky you. All right. I served last summer on a jury. Served once. Mary Lemke has served once. Oh my goodness. Cindy, that sounds like an interesting case. So yeah, I cannot talk at all about the case until after it is done. By that point in time, I will have no interest in talking about the case, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's been interesting. So that's what I've been up to. Sorry if I am a space cadet. My brain, like I said, feels a little spacey. And like I walked out to my car and was like, oh, that's where I parked. And I turned it on, and then I turned it off, and I was like, why did I do that? Like, my brain is just a little not quite together. But I am so happy to be here because I'm about to do my favorite thing, and that is make cards with all of you guys. So, on that note, I am going to open up our box, and we are going to start having fun and stop talking about jury duty. So, we have our box. Nothing special on the box this time. Hello, Becky, and everyone else that has tuned in and said hi. I appreciate you being here. It is going to be fun. I am excited. So we've got Life is Sweet. Oh, that's right. I do remember what this one is, at least based on the cover photo I created a couple months ago. This is the June 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit. We have Shy Shamrock. So we already are building our in-color pad base. This is called the Stamp and Spot. We also have some stamps. So the sentiments we've got this time, we've got a large thanks, and then a couple, this is a longer sentiment. Life is so much sweeter with friends like you. We've got a you're truly amazing. Wish you were here. We have a so much to celebrate. Sending a big squeeze and sweet friend. So those are our sentiments that we are playing with tonight. Okay, in the box, we have, all right, so we have a congrats card that is lemons. We have a hello card that is peaches, and we have a miss you card that is cherries. Very cool. I have a close family friend who, she passed away a couple of years ago, but she lived in Door County, and I miss her in Door County as cherries. So that one speaks to me right off the bat. All right, let's open this up and see what we've got in the contents of the kit. All right, so here we go. I somehow got to a different video, so let's get rid of that one and go back to this one. All right, here we go. Okay. A couple adhesives. We've got a roll of tear and tape and some twine. We also have, we have all of the adhesives. We also have glue dots, mini dimensionals, and then we have embellishments. Wow, that is something special. I often feel like in Paper Pumpkin, usually you don't get both.
You don't.
A ribbon and an embellishment.
Correct, it's usually one or the other.
Sometimes you don't get any. Those are really dry.
Because they have blender paper sometimes.
Yes, they do. But this time we got a twine and embellishments. So we hit the jackpot this time. Okay. We also have, let's start unpacking. Okay. So this is the add-on kit, which is a couple additional dies. I know we used them the last time. They kind of went with the last few Paper Pumpkins. They kind of released in a suite per se. So the kit contains supplies for 9 cards and 9 envelopes. We've got coordinating colors of Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, Peach Pie, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Pretty in Pink, Pumpkin Pie, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. There's a lay flat here of all of the contents of the kit. We will be going through that in front of us in just a second. And I'm going to put the instructions off to the side for now. Okay, so we have some envelopes. Uh-oh, they're going to make me think, aren't they? So if you are a frequent Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you know that I like to destruct the envelopes to create the alternative cards. But on a day where my brain's not working, they're gonna make me work for it because the envelopes are just solid colors. So there's really no reason to destruct them. Typically, if there's something printed on the envelope or on the inside of the envelope, I use that as a pseudo DSP type. But that is not an option this time, so we're really going to be thinking on our toes. Okay, in this little poly bag, we have an assortment of laser cut leafy images, frames, in Shy Shamrock, and the same shape in a nice thick piece of vellum. This is a very thick piece. I love it. I've been a fan of vellum recently. Oh, always been a fan of vellum, but been using it more recently. Okay, so we've got those pieces. Move our adhesives off. Okay, then we have some card bases. Oh my goodness, they're really giving me a run for my money. So here's card base number 1. This is a white card with a pink canvas and painted texture on it. Okay. Then we have some banners to punch out that we can stamp our sentiments on. We have some lemons. We have a pool party potentially. Same texture. We've got the linen and paint swatches. Here we've got a lot of peaches. Then we have a orange color. It's the best I can come up with right now. Same texture. We have some more laser cuts. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to punch these out while I have them because they are pseudo falling out. This, very well lasered, but just want to be careful because it is delicate. Okay, there, we got that. This is stunning. So we've got some words. Okay, so if you flip it to the back, now I'm sure this is not going to be that easy for you to see on camera, but it is actually words. So we have hello, congrats, hello, hello, miss you, miss you, miss you. And they are on this beautiful white glitter paper. Does not look as though it lets off glitter too much, so that's good news. Here we have some vellum laser cuts. We've got some stars and some foliage. And then we have our cherries. Oh, I just love the cherries. I am long overdue for a trip to Door County. All right, so those are our contents. Now, our kit is over here. I need to kind of just acclimate myself a little bit. Okay, so we'll do card bases over here. PC pieces over there. We're just not going to have enough room, and we're just going to have a mess. It's just going to be kind of part of how this goes. I'm going to move the envelopes for now. Okay. Now, our color is Shy Shamrock. So, for those of you that follow along at home, you know this is my thing. So, as I stated before, we got a Shy Shamrock Stampin' Spot. This is a great way to build our color collection, especially, like I noted, this is one of our in colors. So this is a great way to expand your color collection without a huge cost. You don't know typically what color you're going to get, so it is a gamble, but the benefit is they guarantee that they're not going to repeat a color in a 12-month time span. So you know you're going to be getting a bunch of different colors. This is I think the pad is about 1 inch by 1 inch, and it is a fabric pad, whereas our classic Stampin' pads are foam. So I do prefer stamping with a foam pad, and of course it is nice to have a larger surface area. So because I have access to all of the stamping colors, I am going to always bring in my own. But do know that when you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, it is an all-inclusive kit. So you do get everything that you need to create the contents of the kit without having any additional supplies. That being said, the first time you subscribe, you do get a clear acrylic block. It is a D-sized block. But just like the Stampin' Spot, I do always bring in my own black because the black that Stampin' Up! Sells, it is a little thicker and it's got rounded edges. So it's a little more ergonomic to hold on to and a little bit more comfortable for stamping. Other than that, they are both acrylic blacks. And again, it is not something you need to purchase. You do not need to purchase anything to successfully complete the Paper Pumpkin kits. So there is that. You've lived through my spiel. We are starting with, I must save the best for last, and because the Miss You card is speaking to me, I am going out of order, and I am going to do that one last. So we're going to start with card number 2 as defined by the instructions, and card number 2 is our lemon card. So I am going to grab our card base that is white and pink. I am also going to grab the sheet of lemons and the foliage piece. Also going to, at this point, punch out just the foliage vellum. Just kind of prepping. Hello to everyone that has joined recently. I'm sorry, I don't remember who I called out and who I haven't. Please forgive me. My brain is on vacation. it kind of checked out when the judge dismissed us today. Brain is done for the day. Okay, so here are the pieces. Okay, now we need one of each variety of lemon. So there's a lemon with 1 leaf and a lemon with 2 leaves. I'm gonna grab one of each of those. Okay, and then I'm also going to grab our glitter sheet and punch out a congrats. So the congrats is in the upper left-hand corner, and all 3 of them are stacked. So I'm gonna first punch the whole shebang out, and then I'll punch out the inner pieces. Again, being very careful. I definitely don't want to break any of this. Now, typically, I will say this, typically Paper Pumpkin gives you extras in case of mistakes. Like there's always extra banners for you to stamp on and stuff like that. There are no extras of our glitter sentiments, at least as far as I can tell from the back of the sheet. So be very ginger when you are working with the glitter sheet, because we do not have the ability to replace one if you break it. Now, that being said, you can, of course, if it at one of these points of overlap where there is where it's kind of being held together, of course, if it does break, you likely could tape it together, or get creative in how you put it on the card that you don't do without it, because obviously it is an integral part of the card. Now, it does appear as though we have some extra Paper Pumpkin kits. So as you are watching along, if you love the kit or are really inspired by the alternative and would like to get a kit, just reach out to Chris. They are on a first come first served basis. So there is no guarantee that there will be one left, but for the time being, it does appear as though there are some additional kits left. Okay, now I have all of my pieces for the card gathered. Next, I need to grab a So Much to Celebrate banner. This appears to be the longer banner. So I'm going to punch that out of here. When we do the laser cut banners and shapes and stuff like that, there is typically a little bump where it was attached to the master sheet. If you feel so inclined, you can shave that down with a scissor. It's a very minor detail, but if you're looking for ways to elevate your Paper Pumpkin, trimming that down really helps it not look like it was made from a kit. Not that that matters, but it does make it look a little better. Okay, so we are going to stamp our banner. I'm going to put it here for now so that you can see it. So our banner ends are going this way. There is no right or wrong as to what way it needs to go. That is just the way that it is shown to us. So that is the way that I will do it. Okay, so the glitter word says congrats. You can use any of the stamps that you so choose. The sample card says So Much to Celebrate. So I'm going to grab that stamp at this point in time. It is a longer sentiment, so I am going to put it diagonal across my black. I don't know if there's any truth to this or not, but I always like to stamp the stickiness off of my new photopolymer stamps. Sometimes I notice that it seems to give a clearer image when it stamps. Now, this is going to be difficult because it is white on white. And you know what? I probably don't need to put a piece of paper behind it because it's not like running off of the stamped surface at all. So it'll be easier to see this way. All right, so we are going to ink up. So much to celebrate. I'm going to try to line my banner up on my grid so that it is straight, so that when I hover the stamp over it, if I keep that straight, we hold a good chance that it's straight. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to hover over the top. I'm going to try to center it left, right, and top to bottom while making it not go uphill or downhill. We'll see how well I did. All right, that'll do it for me. I'll call that good. While I am doing that, I'm going to clean up my stamp and put it back on the carrier sheet. All right. Okay, stamping done. Next we have adhesion of our laser cut foliage. So I'm going to bring in my card base. The first thing I'm going to do is fold it in half on the pre-provided seam. I'm going to bring in my bone folder to give the seam a nice crisp edge. And then this is going to be a horizontal card. So I'm going to shift my card base horizontal and make sure that my seam is at the top. I think we all have, and I feign to say that if you have not, you're not a real card maker yet, created a card completely upside down or completely sideways and cried when we acknowledged it. Okay, so that is how we need it. Now, the next piece is going to be our shy shamrock foliage, and we are given instructions via the paper. So this symbol indicates the tear and tape, and it appears as though we are putting a strip of tear and tape along the middle of our piece of foliage. I'm guessing that piece of tear and tape is probably about 2 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, because of how delicate this foliage is, it's going to stick through. So I'm just going to lightly place that down and lightly run my finger over it so I don't stick it to the work surface beneath me. I'm also going to leave the backing piece on for the time being while I put the glue dots on our vellum. So it is shown that our leaves are going to be going somewhat like this. So the leaves have a double leaf for a longer sprig. That leaf on both of our pieces of foliage are going to be on the top half, if that makes any sense. All right, again, I do have access to supplies of my own, so I am using a roll of glue dots, but there is absolutely no reason why you can't use the glue dots that are just supplied. All right, so we are going to put a glue dot onto each of these. Okay. Then I'm going to tear once I lift up and get it off my work surface, I'm going to push this piece of tear and tape down a little more firmly. Yes, now it's sticking to my finger, but that's okay. That's easy to take off. That'll help me get the backer off of the piece of tear and tape. Once the backer is off, we are then going to place our foliage. Now, it looks as though we're going to align the bottom leftmost leaf to touch the intersection of the pink and white. And then I'm going to hold that there lightly and let it fall into place, whereas it looks like it's kind of cocked a little sideways. So it's not completely straight on, but it's not overtly crooked. Once I have it in a place that I feel like, either it looks like the picture or that I like, I'm going to go ahead and just lightly tap on the places where I can see the tear and tape is. I also, at this point, I'm going to bring in my 2 leaves of vellum and place one roughly in the upper left quadrant, and the other in the lower right. Now it appears as though, you can put it however you want, but it appears as though the stems are not crossing. Ooh, we have a little bit of lighting issue. That's better. Okay, so that takes care of that. Step 3, we are looking at instructions to cut 12 inches of twine. So there is a convenient ruler on the side of our instruction manual. So you can go ahead and measure out 12 inches and give it a nice snip. We also are bringing in our lemons, and the lemons are going to be adhered using the dimensionals. So the first instruction is to put, here, let me lay mine out accordingly. Okay, so we've got some hexagons, white hexagons with gray outlines. Those indicate where we are going to put our dimensionals. So we've got 2 of them on the smaller lemon, 1 on just the leaf of the larger lemon, and then 2 that are going to connect the 2 lemons together. They are slightly overlapping. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to start by putting a dimensional centered in the singular lemon, the lemon with the singular leaf. Also going to put a glue dot dimensional, in the leaf of that as well. I'm going to put a glue dot in the leaf of the larger lemon. Then I'm going to grab myself 2 glue dimensionals. Now I'm going to overlap my 2 lemons, the smaller lemon on top of the larger lemon, and I'm going to overlap them roughly as shown. You can see that the leaves, there's quite a void between the 2 leaves, and I'm going to go ahead and throw them there, and then use this pair of dimensionals to adhere them together. From there then, we are going to flip this over and put it on top of this little sandwich, but you do see that we're also putting the twine behind. So before you go ahead and take off any of the adhesive here, we're going to grab the twine and just make a back and forth pattern of twine. I like to use tear and tape when I do things like this because I like there to be something for our ribbon to adhere to. So I'm going to throw a piece of tear and tape right in between the dimensionals. I'm going to peel that backer off, and then I'm going to lay down my twine. I'm going to start with a tail coming out on the right hand side. I'm going to pat it down just a little bit. Go ahead and loop it over to make a loop. And we're going to loop it back. And then send it back in that direction. So just a very loose, something to give it some texture. Now, another thing that I like to do when I'm doing ribbon is go ahead and put a top on that tear and tape sandwich. So approximately the same length, I'm going to pull a piece of tear and tape, but this time I'm not going to take the waxy backer off. It's just going to kind of secure it into place. So now we are going to peel off the dimensionals, the dimensional backs, and then we're going to throw our lemon sandwich in this relative neck of the woods. So place them wherever you feel they fit best. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. There-ish. Okay, then we have so much to celebrate and congrats. So we got some gnarly adhesive strategies coming at you. So congrats is flipped over. Congrats is going to be adhered with a dimensional on the C, a glue dot on the G, a dimensional on the A, and a dimensional on the S. So let's do that. So we have a dimensional first on the backstroke of the C. This is why we're using mini dimensionals, because we got fine little typography that we're working on here. We're also going to throw a dimensional on the spine of the A and a dimensional on the middle of the S. Okay, we are also going to be putting a glue dot where the N meets the G. Oh no. Okay. That'll kind of do it. Okay. So, go ahead, take the backing off of your dimensionals. Flip her over. Now, the congrats goes through kind of the middle of the lemons. I don't want it to cover up too much of anything. So I'm going to keep my ribbon tails high and low. Just kind of moving them just a smidge to get it where I want. And then I'm going to tentatively place this here. Now that could change based on where the strip goes. So I'm just going to gently hover that. I'm not going to commit to it until I feel a little more confident. Now, same with the banner. We've got a unique strategy. We're going to flip it over. We're going to put 2 dimensionals on the flipped back side to the left, and then a strip of tear and tape on the right side. This is what happens when you don't put things back where they belong. Oh no, it's right here. Oh, yeah. Getting a little loopy. Okay, so go ahead and take all the backers off. And then we will place the So Much to Celebrate on the bottom lemon. We are going to tuck it. So I like where that is, although it does look like it's going uphill. So let's shimmy that a smidge. That looks a little better. And then in making that micro movement, I'm going to slightly adjust. Whee! That's very crooked now. Slightly adjust the congrats. Now, we're still not done. These cards are intricate. Okay, big, big, and small, or big, small, small. Are there 3 sizes here? No. Okay, so big one up top. Roundabouts in here. Small one, approximately there. We also have another, what appears to be small one, down in this neck of the woods. So, there you have it. Lovely card. I am a huge fan of it. So, we're going to move that off to the side. Okay, next we have our peaches, which is super cute. This one is going to be on our light blue. So let's go ahead and take that card base out of the box. We're going to fold it and give it a nice burnish with our bone folder. This is a vertical card, so make sure your seam is on the left. We are going to put the vellum. Where did I put that piece? Right here. We're going to put the vellum down with the laser cut foliage. Okay, and we're going to do that by putting tear and tape along the top and bottom of the vellum, and just 3 little glue dots is going to hold this thing on. So let's do all of that. Right. Gotta make sure no one's falling asleep here. We're not very chatty tonight. That's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna do this step by step. I'm not gonna adhere the foliage to it first. I just wanna get this on the card because that. Okay. So we're going to bend down and pick that up. So centered left to right and top to bottom. Looks good. And then on here, we're just going to throw 3 glue dots on this bad boy. 1, 2, 3. It's just... Okay, so we're going to put one up here. Relatively. And again, this is a very delicate die, so you're likely going to get stickage through. That's a very complicated term. It's a very technical term. Okay, so then that one's there, and then we're going to put one over in this corner. Okay. Now, we're going to flip that over and place it directly on top of the vellum. Okay. Now, we are going to get a bunch of pieces together. The first thing I'm going to grab is my foot of twine. This twine is getting used to make a bow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, goodness. Okay, we are also getting 5 peaches. So, we need 2, okay. 1 small peach with 2 leaves. 1 small peach with 1 leaf. 1 medium peach. And 1 of each of the large peaches. Now, for this, we are going to put glue dots on each, with an exception of this large peach, which is going to get dimensional. So, one thing at a time, I'm going to put glue dots on each of the 4 peaches in front of you. Then the peach that remains, so we grabbed 2 larger peaches. From the back, one of them has a larger dip by the leaf. That one gets a glue dot. The other one that has a more flat top by the leaf, that one gets 2 dimensionals. So go ahead and grab your dimensionals and put 2 on there. I'm also going to take a sidebar for a minute here and point something out. So there is only adhesive running across the top and bottom of this card per the instructions, but I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive along the sides. You can see that it's lifting up. I like to use copious amounts of adhesive so that I'm confident that the card's not going to fall apart either in transit or in the hands of the recipient. Now, that being said, I don't think it's going to fall apart necessarily, but I don't like that it's curling. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 additional pieces of tear and tape to put on the left and right sides. Sometimes we have to be careful with vellum because it's see-through, but this is not going to be seen because of the foliage on top of it, so there should be no concern in adhesives being seen through the vellum, at least on this particular card. Okay, so that is done. Now we're gonna start layering up some peaches. But before I do that, I am going to make a bow. So I'm gonna grab the bow maker, take my 12-inch piece of twine, and make a bow. I don't know how big exactly I want this to be. That's maybe a little too big. That seems too small. Well, you know what? Go like that. All right, so I'm just gonna floof up the ties a little bit. Okay, there's our bow. The bow, I presume, is going to be either held down with a peach. It doesn't look like there is an adhesive designated for that. Obviously, we can throw down some glue dots if we see that to be necessary. Okay, so the small peach with the 2 leaves is going to go right here. She's cute. I like it. Okay, then the small and medium are going to go up top. The small with 1 leaf is going to go here-ish. And the medium with 1 leaf is going to slightly overlap and go there-ish. Then we are going to put down the large peach that is more orangish in color. It also is the one that has the glue dot behind it. And we are going to overlap the lighter peach that has the dimensionals behind it. So we kind of have cascading peaches falling down our card. We then are going to, oh my, so the first step was stamping. I skipped that. Let's go back to it. I'm also going to stamp the sentiment for card 1 while we have our stamp pad out, seeing as how that's probably going to be the first step for the next card. Okay, so we've got a small banner for the card we're currently working on and a large banner for the next card that we're making. Okay, just like before, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to just trim down the little bit of hairs that are hanging off from the punch out. Okay. Now, again, our diagonals are going this way. If that makes sense. We have Sweet Friend for our sentiment for this card. Again, I'm going to try to lay my sentiment straight on the little banner. So I'm going to lay the banner straight on my work surface. Sweet Friend. Okay, I'm going to clean that off and then quick switch to the Wish You Were Here stamp, which is going to be for the larger banner on our next card. Woo! Okay, and the Wish You Were Here. All right, this one. Okay. Gonna bring that down by me. All right, and then we're gonna throw that onto our larger banner. Clean up our stamp, put away our stamp pad, and then go back to our peaches. Okay, oops, I didn't put the stamp away. Oh, you. We are now grabbing the glitter sheet and we're going to punch out a hello. Hello is in the same row as our congrats. And then we're going to punch out the insides. The glimmer on these laser cuts are absolutely beautiful. It's like it looks like there's a clear and a silver, or maybe it just gives the look of silver, but it's just a very, very pretty detail. I am a fan. Okay, hello, sweet friend. So we are flipping that over. On the back side, we are going to put a glue dot on the spine of the H, and then 2 dimensionals. Oh, it's time for the boys to pick up some toys. Okay, so we are going to take 2 dimensionals. We're going to put one at the base of the first L and one at the top of the second L. Oh no! Okay, so then, hello, sweet friend. This is going to go here-ish. Now again, I'm going to move my little ribbony thing. And then sweet friend gets 2 dimensionals. Sweet friend, ooh, aligns directly with the bottom of our hello. So that would put it here-ish. I was gonna say, I kind of trapped my bow, so I wanted to free that out, and now I got myself a little bit of a mess. Okay, let me get this stuck down and then I'll walk through how that looks. So, the hello, because we have a glue dot here, is being adhered to the lighter peach that has dimensionals behind it. And then it is stuck here. Then the sweet friend has 2 dimensionals on it, and the top of that banner kind of sits on the bottom of the hello. Then we are going to get our embellishments. We're going to put a big one. So now this guy turned a little. So I'm going to put a big one here-ish. A small one kitty corner, and then we're going to put another apparently small one down here. Now, in looking at this card, now that it's finished compared to the card in the instructions, I think I put the peaches a little too heavy on the bottom. It appears as though there's more blank space on my card than theirs. So in making this again, I would take this whole unit and shove it up and maybe even over a little bit. I have no qualms as to how it turned out, but you can see like the double leaf on the bottom peach is not at all visible, whereas on the sample card it is, and the sentiments are just above it. So this whole unit could just go up even 3/8 or not quite half of an inch. And I think that would balance it out just a little better, but all in, I still think it is a beautiful card. So we've got 2 done. That means we are on to our cherry card. We have the stamped sentiment done. Next, we are going to bring in our pink piece. I'm gonna give some advice here. It shows that we've got 5 dimensionals on the pink piece. Please, when you do this, make sure that you flip it over and you're putting the dimensionals on the white side of the pink piece. That's going to be imperative to this being successful. So I'm going to go ahead and put those dimensionals on, but I'm going to leave the backer on them for the time being. Okay, and then we have 30 inches of ribbon. So I'm going to open up my whole instruction booklet, and I'm going to take 2 runs of 15, of course not snipping it. to get my 30 inches. Of course, you could do 18 and 12 as well. Okay, so there is our piece of twine for this card. Now, we are going to take and run the twine. I'm gonna leave probably 5 inches off to the left of the sheet. And I'm gonna wrap it around twice. And with the remainder, I am going to tie a bow. Correction, with the remainder, I'm going to attempt to tie a bow. Now, I have access to a reverse tweezer, which is going to be instrumental in making this a successful bow. So I'm going to put that tweezer on there right off the bat. Go ahead and make a bow. And I'm going to say here that I'm going to have an excessive amount of leftover. That's okay. That means one of two things. Either that I could have graced myself with a little bit more room, so start out with more than 5 inches, so it's not quite as hard to tie our bow here, or I could have gone ahead and just cut a smaller piece to begin with. So do with that information what you please for your own cards. But we've got that. And then I'm gonna go and trim that guy. Now, this is going to get adhered. So go ahead and take off the dimensional backers and stick it to our orange card. Now fold on the crease, and we are going to use our bone folder. We are going to stick this. Now, notice that it is farther to the left than center. So we're gonna align the top. We're gonna try to align the top while off-centering it slightly to the left. We are next going to take the Miss You and punch it out. It is, I laugh because it is 2 separate pieces, 3 separate pieces. The dot to the eye is its own piece, which don't lose that. And then Miss and You. Okay. We are then going to, okay, there's my dot. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, then we're going to punch out the insides again and go from there. I am hearing music. Okay, so I am going to go in. This is a take your pick tool. Again, not necessary, but you've been seeing me use it. It really does help punch out the pieces. Okay. Now, our glitter sentiments are adhered just with glue dots. We are going to put a glue dot on the spine of the first part of the M. We're also going to put a glue dot on the center of the S. Next, grab the dot of the I. That is going to have its own glue dot. It is basically the exact same size as a glue dot, so may the odds ever be in your favor. Then we're going to put the front part of the Y and the spine of the U. Okay, now, sorry, I think I'm trying to just, we're making it happen. I'm trying to loosen up the bow a little bit and get it over to the left some. This is hard. Okay, let's go ahead and the U is roughly here. We're gonna have to contain our bow because we don't want it covering up the word U. Okay, and then wish you were here. That's gonna be on dimensionals. I'm just tentatively placing that there. I'm not quite certain how this is all gonna lay out. Okay. I'm not going to take the dimensional backs off of this yet because I want to, again, just tentatively place it. I know it's going to go in this vicinity. I like that. I think that's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down, take the backs off of this so that I am placing the word miss on not a moving target, a stationary target. Okay. And then miss is going to go all the way on the bottom. So it's going to go under the twine and banner and everything. I cannot tell if this is crooked or not. So it's stuck down and it's handmade. Now I'm going to put the eye dot on. Now the funny thing about this is I don't dot my eyes when I write, so I just think it's funny that we've got an eye dot. Of course, that is the right way to do it. But, okay, there. We've got the miss seal. Now we've got some cherries. So we've got 2 double-decker cherries. All right, and then each of these, oh, again, we've got a little bit of an interesting layout as to how we're gonna adhere these. From what I can tell, well, they are different. Do I have different ones? No. There are 2 different sets of cherries, right? It looks like it. Oh yeah, mine are different. Okay, so this one, we're gonna put a glue dot. Okay, so by this one I mean the one that does not have the light swatch at the top. So I'm gonna put that one aside for a minute. I'm gonna put a glue dot on this one, the one without a light swatch, in the center of the back cherry. And then we're gonna flip it over and put a dimensional right up top. Okay, we're gonna flip the other cherry over, and this cherry is going to get a dimensional centered on this cherry. So, I'm confused. I feel like this dimensional needs to be on the other cherry. I'm gonna make a piece of advice here. I could be wrong, bear with me. I'm going to move the last dimensional that we just placed, and I'm going to put it on the left hand cherry instead. I think this is the correct placement, because now when I flip it over, I'm going to stick the cherry that no longer has a dimensional on it onto the glue dot, which I placed too low, so bear with me as I take that off. And put a new glue dot a little higher. Okay, so now I'm gonna join these two cherries approximately like this. And now on the back, we're gonna have two dimensionals in this location. I also don't see any reason why I can't put an additional dimensional behind. This just doesn't seem like it's got enough adhesive on the back for me. So I'm gonna put one behind here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some behind the leaves as well. I just don't want them sinking. Okay, now another fine detail is on the sheet of vellum, we have some vellum stars. So where did I get those from? Oh, here we go. Okay, so we've got one large and two small. One large, two small. Okay, so we're gonna punch those out. And then we are going to, let's see here. On the, it's really hard to tell. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put one of the small ones on the back set of cherries. We're gonna adhere that with a glue dot. Oh no! Take two. Stick it in the middle. Then we're gonna take a glue dot onto the biggest star. We're gonna throw it on the leaves there. And a second one. Somewhat overlapping, but kiltered down into the left. Okay, that works. All right, now we are going to flip it over and take all of the dimensionals off, dimensional backs off the back. And we're gonna discover if I was wrong about putting all the extra dimensionals on. Yes, I was wrong. I was wrong because this is held up by dimensionals. See? This is why you craft along with me. Okay, so what I need is to take this dimensional off and this dimensional off. Now, this is a delicate dance. It doesn't seem like we have the same amount of space as is accounted for on here, and that could be because of a couple different reasons. We could scooch that to the left a little more. We could have scooched the words to the left a little more. But basically, because everything is stuck down and not moving, we have to deal with the amount of space that we have. So, that does not work great. Okay, take two. I'm gonna pull this down a little farther. So basically, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have some hanging off the side here. Not ideal. Okay. I am going to make another recommendation. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but music randomly started playing in the background. I have no clue where it's coming from. And I'm getting very distracted and my brain already hurts. So thank you for bearing with me as I'm really struggling. I don't typically listen to music. I don't have anything against music. I just, I have enough thoughts going on in my head that I don't need anything else to entertain me. Oh, no. Well, there's a chance a gem's going to go there. So, when you guys make your cards, you are going to have learned from my mistake, and you are not going to place your words in the wrong spot. But I'm going to give you some helpful advice. It is my advice that you stick the cherries down before you stick down anything else. Because now we don't have anything hanging off the edge, and we're still going to place our words, but we're going to place them in such a manner that they're not going to be like hidden under the leaves and such. So I'm also going to take an additional glue dot and stick it under this cherry. Get that stuck down. Okay, so we're committing to this. We're hoping that it's going to work out. I might pivot it just a smidge. Okay. All right, so seeing as how the wish you were here is the longest part, and I have a little bit botched this up, I'm going to put a couple more dimensionals on the back. Wish you were here is going to get stuck down first. We're going to stick it there. Looks good, right? Okay. I need to get my live back because okay. I don't know where all my chats went. Okay, look at that. There were a bunch of... It was her cousin's birthday this afternoon. Oh no, now you're putting me on the spot because it is not my birthday. So if it's one of my cousin's birthdays, happy birthday, cousin. I don't know who you are. Maybe it's on our other side. Or maybe, so what do we got? We're in the middle of June. I think it's on her other side. I don't really know. Okay, so, miss you. We are going to stick the you under, these are so cute. I agree, Cindy. I am a huge fan of it, of these cards. They have been a little bit of a challenge on my challenged brain today, but we're getting there. So, you is now stuck under. Even though I trapped the tail, The recipient of this card best love it for all of the joy that it was for me to make. Okay, now we need the miss. So when you are making your own cards, do with my advice however you please, but I do advise that you put the cherries down first because that became quite a mess. Now, look how far different I had the miss compared to the eye dot. Woo! Can you tell why we were having some issue there? Okay, miss you. Now, I am not going to put the rhinestones where they suggest, based on the fact that I have to fill this little bloober that I have going on up here. So I'm going to start by putting a pearl there, and then because of that, I'm going to accrement the other pearls down here. I don't like that because of its correlation to the eye dot, but it is what it is. I have to put that there. Oh, Virginia, I miss you. I love Door County. Will be visiting Door County to pay you a visit and honor your memory. This card is totally dedicated to you and the lovely times we had in Door County. All right, let us bring all of our cards back into the view. We made it. We made it to the end. We have Congrats with the Lemons. We have Hello with the Peaches. And we have Miss You with the Cherries. What do you think? Do you have a favorite? Just trying to clean up a little bit. I actually really love them all a lot. I might grab one of the extra kits. So speak up and claim yours before they're gone. I'm going to let you look at them for a little bit longer. What do we think? Does anyone have any thoughts? Hello is my favorite. Very good. I don't know why my video is not at the same spot. Oh, my video is 15 minutes behind. Okay, well, there you go. I'm catching up. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Okay, so I am going to try to muster up an alternative card, and I'm going to try to make it fast because I do not have much brain power in my body. For those of you that didn't catch the beginning, I'm on day 3 of a jury trial, and it's a long one. We were told it was going to be 5 days. 5 days means I have 2 more days. However, today I lost faith in the fact that I'm going to be done by Friday. I could be wrong. I have no clue. No clue what's to come yet. But, yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but my brain is fried. So let's take a look back down at these cards instead of looking at my chaos. And I'm going to try to come up with an alternative card for you today. So typically I like to use the envelopes. Well, okay. All right, let's do this. let's bring out the envelopes. Now, there's no DSP on the envelopes, but there is this beautiful scallopy edge. And this card does not have anything to spare. But each of these cards could spare their piece of background, or the back of the card, which could be used as a piece of DSP. So now my question is, am I going to make an orange card with orange, a shy shamrock card with blue, or am I going to mix and match? I'm not feeling like mixing colors because my brain's not thinking like that right now. I'm going to go with this color scheme. I have no reason why, but I'm going to. So we are going to take this card base and we are going to cut it in half on the score line. I'm going to move these cards out of the way because I don't want to accidentally cut them or something. All right, and we are going to try to make a very simple card. Do you accept my challenge? So, I'm even going to cheat to the extent that I'm not going to make a card base. I'm just going to make a card front. Don't tell Chris. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm also going to cut on the score line. Don't know what I'm going to do with this envelope that now doesn't have a flap. And I feel like I'm probably going to utilize this in a manner something like this. I'm going to just mark this up for the time being so I know where I may be cutting. I don't know why. I think it's just going to give me a little bit more of the curves. Because if I go here, I have this tiny little bit. I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and trim on the marks that I just made. We're going to go all in. All right. Now, I need to find the dies from the add-on kit. They would be handy. Thanks and beyond. Yay! Okay, here's some content. Obviously the thanks is the same typeface as these other sentiments. So this we did use in the last alternative as well. So I feel as though this was designed to coordinate with all of the relevant paper pumpkins. I think I'm going to put this here-ish in white. I feel like this might be balmy blue. Hello! Good! Okay, so I'm going to grab my instruction booklet and grab the coordinating colors. So, ooh, pool party! See, this is why we look. Okay, so I've got Shy Shamrock. Now I'm also going to enter in pool party because that is the color of, yeah, that is not balmy blue. That's not even close to balmy blue. What was I thinking? So let me go get the die cutting machine. Let's see what we have for sentiments. So you're truly amazing, which really goes with things. So I might do that. Okay, I'm gonna go get the die cutter. You caught me. I found a cookie. I'm gonna throw a little sugar at the problem and see how that helps. All right. Woo! Okay. Now. Okay. It looks like we just need, I'm sorry, I don't use this machine that often, so I was just trying to get my bearings straight. I'm gonna cut, So I feel like the envelope is Shiny Shamrock. I feel like the coordinating color here is Pool Party. So I don't know what color I should make my banner. We're gonna start with white. Vellum. Ooh, she just fits. Does thanks fit on there too? No. Very close though. Okay. Good evening, Shirley. Again, sorry to anyone who I haven't called out tonight. No intentional disregard. Okay, so we have a white banner. I'm gonna make a Shy Shamrock one and a Pool Party one. We're gonna make some decisions. Okay. Ooh, is that gonna fit? That might be just shy. Ooh, just kidding. That's just gonna fit. Okay. Okay. I'm hoping that didn't shift. Okay. It shifted just a smidge, but we still made it. Okay. So that's definitely his Pool Party, and that means I still need the Shy Shamrock. Oh, that one's too thin. But I am following an idea here. Okay. Okay. So when bringing Shy Shamrock into the mix, it appears as though that color is some hybrid between the two, which is not ideal, but we're gonna make it work. Okay. So right now we have a lot of those things. I kind of really like that. And then thanks cut out in white. And I'm telling you that like just fits, but I'm not gonna be stingy. Okay. Oh, look at that. She cut so good, she weeded herself out. Beautiful. Okay. Now, what do we think of this? Oh no! Sorry, don't mind me. Okay, I'm thinking something in that vicinity with something like this, but now I have even another thought. Okay. We're gonna do thanks like this in some degree. I'm not gonna tape it down yet. And then sweet friend stamped in Shy Shamrock in that Boyd. I'm a fan. Okay. Woo! Okay. Thanks, sweet friend. Now, I'm contemplating I feel pretty confident that I'm gonna adhere those together. I feel pretty confident that this is gonna go on there in some fashion. I'm wondering if I'm going to include this in some fashion. That is not the fashion. So my next thought was cutting this in half and sticking it to the left and right of this. So I'm gonna start gluing because I've got a haphazard mess over here. Liquid glue is not in the vicinity. Here it is. Oh, we gotta. There we go. Get that cleaned up. Okay. Okay, and then I think I'm going to put some dimensionals behind here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go like this. And this. Okay, so now I need to decide if I'm gonna align that to the baseline, off, hanging off the left, I'm going to align it to the baseline centered. I'm going to put it up top centered. There's too many options. I feel like I kind of liked how it was down here though. Thanks, sweet friend. Also going to bring my Stella into the picture. And while I'm at it, I'm just gonna Stella the whole shy shamrock piece. What I should have done was Stella that whole piece. I don't know, that might have been too much texture and texture. You know, I don't know. I'm committed now though, so we're just gonna see this through. Okay. Ooh, she shines. Oh, and the other thing I was considering doing is I found this crinkle ribbon, which is in Pool Party. Oh, I love this. And I'm wondering if, how, and why I might want to use this. All right, here's to throwing it and seeing if it's gonna stick. Ooh, that was too long. All right, I'm gonna throw that tail to the bottom right. I'm gonna make a loop. I'm gonna throw another loop down here. And lastly, finish it up top. Grab my ribbon scissors and give this a nice straight cut. And then clean up the cut that we have down here. Okay. Now we're going to finish what I earlier referred to as our tear and tape sandwich, our ribbon sandwich, one or the other. Okay, so now we have thanks, sweet friend. I'm gonna go ahead and adhere it. Can't remember where it tapers off. So we're gonna stop there. We've made the executive decision that it's gonna go here. And we're just gonna let that sit for a second while it dries. Oh, I love it. Okay. now I am left with, of course, I don't need to use this piece if I don't see it fit. But, ooh, okay, all right. I think all I needed to do was make this a horizontal card. Now I just need to decide if it's going to be on the bottom or the top. And I just decided it's going to be on the top. So we're going to glue this down. Start making some, it's the top of an envelope, so it's self-adhesive. Put a little glue there. Sticker in the corner. Now, because of the tear and tape sandwich we've got going on in the back here, I do need to put more dimensionals on this, otherwise it's going to get all cattywampus. So, I'm just going to make a tall stack here. Again, I'm not going to take the back off of the tear and tape. A little glue seepage coming out the side, so I'm just cleaning that up a little bit. I feel like a dentist. Okay. Now I want to put some embellishments on it. And I'm starting to question whether I should have put, no, we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. Now I just need to find some embellishments. So bear with me a minute as I pick up just a little bit and figure out what embellishments I want to use. All right. With that, I think I'm going to Ow! Oh no, I just slammed my knee into the desk. Ooh. That was a big one. Okay. Okay, I just want, I'm thinking, ooh. Ooh, okay. Let's try. Oh my gosh. Undoubtedly those. Oh, I love the monochromatic theme of this card. Well, I shouldn't say monochromatic. We've got blues and greens, but I do like that. Oh no! All right, so I was gonna move that one, but the glue dot stuck down, so it's gonna stay. I think that's gonna do it. What do we think? I'm a fan. I think it came together quite nicely. I don't know if that's better or worse. I struggle with randomly placing gems. I love it! All right, share with me your feedback. Tell me what you think of the kit, what you think of the alternative, whether you have the kit or not. Throw some love my way. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. And as always, if this inspired you to create an alternative or any card, we would love for you to share that with us. So send a message or a picture to Chris. She always shares with me the messages that you share with her, so I very much appreciate it. I love seeing the things that you make, especially the things that you make that I have inspired. Find extra joy in that. And now I'll bring back all the cards within the frame. So actually, this card was created using the back of one of the card bases and the envelope flap, and then just a bunch of the different dies from the add-on kit, which is Thanks and Beyond dies. If I recall, this is inexpensive. I think it was maybe like $10, give or take a few bucks. So really easy way to make a lot of great cards, in addition to the beautiful cards that you can make in the kit. So let's bring all of them back into the frame. If there was a way to bring in some more glitter to this, I think that would really be the icing on the cake. That is a really nice element to these cards from the kit, but either way, I think this is a slam dunk. I am a fan. We like the alternative and the hello card. That is awesome. You know, I like each of the cards in their own ways, and actually I bet I could have used this as inspiration for this card. I feel like if I would have cut this down to have it put on a white matted, like a thicker matted like this, I might really like what that would bring to this card. So another thing to try, if you go ahead and do an alternative, that would be a good way to kind of work that out a little differently. All right, well, that just about does it for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Throw some comments on what your favorites were, and I hope you had a great time tonight. I am going to... I'm going to remind you at this point that there are a couple of additional Paper Pumpkin kits available. If you're interested, please reach out. Chris's contact information is all here. And other than that, I wish you all a great evening, sending lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs your way.